Hey, it's Ina Esco, and welcome to the Verbally Effective Podcast. This is the podcast that intersects art, culture, politics, entertainment with a Memphis flair. Before we get into our next guest for the show, I want to remind all of you that we're having Podbox 6 next Saturday at Cosset Library. That is 33 South Front Street. You guys know I'm the innovator in residence over there. We're having this event for the sixth time to focus on networking and sharing best practices for all of you Mid-South podcasters out there. I look forward to seeing you at Podbox 6. But let's get right into it because we have Mr. Music Teacher Chronicles in the building with me. He is a musician. He is a music teacher. He is a member of the Barcades. I am talking about Mr. Darryl Sanford. How are you?
I am wonderful. Come on in this house.
Welcome to the Verbally Effective Podcast.
We are in here. Good to see you.
Good to see you too. I think the last time I saw you was at Pink Noir's event where you were playing the keys.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, but guess what? I see you all the time on Instagram talking about them kids.
Talking about the
and
kids.
showcasing their talent, though. So we're going to get all into that today because I know you got a lot of stories.
Oh, Lord, too many.
Darryl, what part of Memphis are you from?
I am actually from all over. I stayed in East Memphis. I stayed in like off of Lamar for a little while. I've just been out from all over.
All over. Where were you born?
I was born in Memphis. Look, I was born
at Baptist.
I was born at Baptist. I don't even remember what hospital I was at.
Really?
I really don't, because I think the story was told that when I was born, they didn't even know if I was going to like survive or something.
Really?
Yeah.
Why is that?
I guess something with my breathing or something.
Okay.
Something was going on.
Look like you made it through though.
I did. And I made a little while on in there.
Yes.
I did. But yeah.
Let's talk about your upbringing because it sounds like you moved around a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So tell me about that.
Well, I mean, I stayed in Jackson, Mississippi for a little while with my grandparents, with my mom. And we moved back to Memphis. I went to Grandwood Elementary School off of Summer, so we stayed off Summer for a little while, and then we moved out east, like off of Mendenhall, and that's we were there for a long time, and we just moved around a lot.
Okay, and I know that you started music at a very young age. Tell me about that.
Yes, I came out the womb playing drums. I was 2 years old. My dad and my mom, they say I used to play on the couch with pencils and played on pots and pans and played out. Drums was my first love. It made the most noise, of course. All children love drums at first.
Yes. So, they want to make that noise.
They want to make the noise. That's what it is. Banging on pots and pans. That's what we did.
Yes. It looked like you stuck with it too.
I did. I stuck with it until I got around 8 years old because my mom played piano. Okay. So she had a piano in the front room, and I would always be playing on the piano, listening by ear to the radio. So she was like, you know what, man, you think of it. She would ask me, she was like, you want to play piano? I was like, no, not really. But I'm still sitting on there playing, you know. And she gave me my first piano lesson. I was at Grandwood. My first piano lesson, I was 8 years old.
Wow.
With Miss Barnabas. I remember her. She taught me that first year. Had my first recital, all of that. And then second year, I didn't want to do it anymore. I was bored. I said,
you was bored with it?
I said, no, I'm good. Let me just stick with the drums.
Okay, you stuck with the drums.
Stick with the drums. But then I went to Colonial in 7th grade, and that was when I met Miss Katie Johnson. She was my piano teacher. She was so fine, too.
She was fine?
She was fine.
Oh, that's why you stuck with it.
Yeah, I said, you know what? We can deal with this a little in 7th grade.
Some inspiration.
Yeah. She inspired me a little bit, play a little bit. And actually took off from there. That's when I really started playing a little bit more, hooked up with my friends, Calvin Barnes, who was an amazing keyboard player. Calvin Barnes, that's my guy. My other guy, Fred Edwards. We all went to the same church. Okay. So that's what kind of gave me that love. Okay, you know, I can play a little bit, you know, and started playing for my first church when I was 15, and it just went from there.
Wow. Now, I noticed you said that you kind of were playing by ear when you were with your mom. Is that something that someone just gets a knack for doing, or is it just repeatedly? How does that work?
It can be like more of a gift. Like some people can hear a song and just automatically just start playing it. You know, that's a gift. It's a gift. It's a gift from God. So
wow.
So it's sometimes it can be a hindrance, especially when you're trying to learn how to read music. So it's like you're so used to playing by ear, and you can play fluently. But then when somebody puts sheet music in front of you, you know, you like playing Mary Had a Little Lamb. You know, trying to read the notes and play at the same time.
Oh wow, I didn't think about that. Okay, so that's good. That fine teacher, hey, got you together, and you know,
somewhat, yeah.
Okay. Now, what high school did you go to?
I actually went to homeschool.
Okay.
I went through Gateway Christian School. I went through Gateway, and it was a homeschool. I went there 11th and 12th grade year.
Gotcha.
And that's where I graduated.
And what happened after high school?
After high school, I went down to Oakwood. It was Oakwood College at the time, down in Huntsville, Alabama.
How was that?
I was away from home.
Okay,
So
you had fun.
I was good. I was good. Had my own apartment, all of that stuff. And in my music classes, I did great, but everything else I did dynamic and fantastic. You know,
Wow.
these and this. I wasn't really in no college.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, the overall experience was great. I mean, that's the same school where Take Six and Brian McKnight and all of them,
really?
all of them came through that school. So it was a big musical school.
So you focused on the music, but
Yeah, I
everything
love
else
music.
you was
Everything
like-
else, I was like, I ain't studying no math.
Oh,
give
wow.
give me music. Yeah, that's where I was.
And you were in Alabama.
Alabama.
How was Alabama like? You getting there, coming out of Memphis?
Well, the good thing was I was around a lot of my friends that were from Memphis, and I met a lot of other people down there who I'm still cool with today. So that made it an easy transition.
So did you come right back to Memphis?
I did. I stayed like 2 years and came on back home. I was like, I'm good on that. Let me go on, get back with my folks.
Got back with your folks. So the music continued for you. So tell me about that.
The music continued. I came back home to Memphis. I went to Southwest for a little while, and that's when I really started getting into the community choir scene. My first choir I played for was Josh Bracy and Power Anointed. Shout out to Josh Bracy, who is still one of my favorite choirs to this day. I started playing with him and met Pam Armour in a Memphis shop, played for her for a few times, and so that's what I did. Really started on the choir scene, and then around 2004, 2005, that's when I started breaking into the secular music, doing jazz and
Breaking
R&B.
into the secular music.
Yeah, breaking into that.
Was that a big transition for you? 'Cause
Somewhat,
you were
yes.
deeply rooted in the church.
I was deeply rooted in the church. So my first, the jazz thing was an easy, because I've always had a jazz aspect to my playing. So the jazz band, that was like a real easy transition to do that, because the jazz band I was with was called Quest. So it was more of like almost like a Christian type jazz band, But stepping into the R&B scene though, that was.
Did you like it?
I loved it. That was a whole nother situation. My first gigs was down at Cafe Soul on Main Street down there. That used to be the spot, and that was when I met like Will Graves and Carmen Hicks and all of us. When I got connected with all of them, and it was just I was good after that.
Isn't that amazing? They're still out here performing and doing their thing.
I just played with Carmen a couple of weeks ago.
Yes. Memphis music scene is very tight-knit.
It is.
Very tight-knit. And you guys, have such great chemistry. And, I mean, it's just good vibes.
It's great vibes. It's great. You can go anywhere and you can throw a rock and probably form a band out of a Walmart.
Yes.
And smash anywhere. You could.
Oh, wow. Now, for those that are listening to the Verbally Effective podcast right now, I don't know if they know that your dad is Otis Sanford, legendary Otis Sanford.
The legend Otis. I am Otis Sanford, and this is my point of view. I said, you better give your point of view then, sir.
We've all seen him on the news. We've all hung on to, his takes on different topics. How was it growing up with your dad, being Otis Sanford?
You know what? He was always dad to me. He was always dad to me. I never looked at him. It wasn't until I got older when I realized oh, okay, this man is really the man. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
It was I think the first time I saw him on TV, and of course he had told me, he was like, yeah, because they moved. He and my stepmom, they moved back from, I don't call her stepmom, I call her Mama Sanford. they moved from Pittsburgh. He was in Pittsburgh for a while. That's why I became a Steelers fan. Shout out to the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Cowboys in the building.
Well, it was nice seeing y'all. This podcast is over.
You know, I see the Cowboys still up 9 times out of 10.
Everywhere.
But I'll let you live.
You're going to let me live.
I'm going to let you live.
I appreciate it. I like my life. But yeah, I saw him on TV for the first time. I was at work. I was working a customer service job, and I walked through the little cafeteria, and I saw him on TV. I was like, wow, like that's my dad on TV. Yeah. And he just, I mean, for him to be a black man and be able to get on TV and just talk about whatever he want to talk about.
Yes. Because, you know, a lot of news stations, they have, you know, producers who they stay real tight on their production. But oldest, Mr. Sanford gonna get on there and say his thoughts.
Say what
and we love it.
He say what he want to say.
And I appreciate that too for a city like Memphis that needs to hear that commentary. And guess what? You giving commentary just like your daddy.
I mean, I'm giving my point of view. Now, daddy, huh? Where you at? Uh-huh.
And I see that you guys look very close. Just looking at your social media, you guys ain't got quite a bit.
That's my best friend. That's my guy. That's my guy.
Yes. So I was like, hey, y'all really need to do that morning show or a podcast.
We do. You know what? And
something.
I was joking because you know, he and I, we used to always eat at CK's off of Poplar like once a month.
I saw that. I used to eat it over there too now back in the day when I used to go to Lemoyne.
Come on with the steak and the eggs and hash brown. I already know my order by heart.
Yes, I miss CK.
And so I was just joking because I always do like Facebook lives and stuff with my friends and stuff. You know, we always call it like a Darryl and Garthel Wade show, you know, or Bud and Peanut show when my boy Peanut play drums. So I was like, you know what? I was messing with him. I said, y'all gonna mess around and catch a Sanford and Son, you know, show.
That'd be cute.
And I'm talking about, I had so many people. They was like, oh, y'all need to do that. Y'all need to do this. So I don't know, Daddy.
Come on, Dad.
You got the funds, so we gonna see what the Lord gonna do.
Hey, let me tell you something. The barrier of entry into podcasting is slow. I think y'all just jump right in. Like today, y'all can do an episode.
Today, I'm gonna call them then.
For the holiday weekend. That is. Now, look, Darryl, we are going to take a quick break, but when we get back, we are going to get into the business of music.
Come on, let's talk about it.
We're going to talk about some Esco's Pop Talk, some current events that are going on.
Okay.
And a feature called Hey Man,
Say Man. Ain't it, man? Come on. Ain't it, man?
Hey, guys, we'll be right back here on Verbally Effective with our guest for today, music teacher and musician, Darryl Sanford.
Yes.
Hey guys, it's Ina Esco. Welcome back to the Verbally Effective Podcast. I have my guest, Mr. Darryl Sanford, music teacher, musician, Barkays member.
Come on.
How did you get into the Barkays?
Well, you know what? That's actually a funny story. Chris J, who was a lead singer.
I know Chris.
Chris and I used to play for a party band back in the day, and we did a lot of like gigs and stuff together. And he actually called me. This was after Bubba, the original man. Well, he wasn't original, but he was like the guy that I filled, you know, his spot. He passed away, and so Chris called me. He was like, "Hey, man," he said, "You know, we kind of got an opening here in the Barkays, man. You want to just come through a rehearsal or whatever?" And I was like, "You know, okay." I said, "I'll come by there." So I met with him and James, and I told him, I was like, "Man, I'm being honest with you." I said, "I really don't know much about the Barkays." I said, "I know like a couple of songs just because a few singers around Memphis sing some of your songs." I said, "And you're my dad's favorite group. That's the only thing I know about y'all." You know, I said, "Do people really be on y'all like that? Like people be on the Barkays like that?" And they and they was like, "Oh, you just wait and see. Just wait and see." And I'm talking about, it's just been an amazing ride. I've been with them 2 years now. And it's just been an amazing ride. They've made me like the assistant music director now. And
oh, wow.
all of that. Yeah.
Look how far you've come along.
I just play my little part and bringing my, you know, more musical flavor to the band and everything. And just, we keep the essence of the funk, but just trying to make it more for today, you know, and just trying to bring more fans into it. So it's been an amazing ride.
Now, you guys performed at Beale Street Music Festival, didn't you?
We did.
How was that experience?
We opened up for Earth, Wind, and Fire. And I'm talking about, we gave it to them. We gave it to them. A lot of people, I think that's what kind of open people's eyes to the Barcades because they already knew who we were. But they was like, no, wait a minute now. These Barcades, this group here, they something
because
serious.
it's evolved.
It's evolved. It really has. I mean, you've got Chris J as lead singer. You've got Devin Crutcher in the band now.
I didn't know Devin was in the band.
Devin is a part of the Barcades
Shout out to
now.
Devin Crutcher.
Yep.
Really?
So it's just like,
oh wow.
It's
Are
it's
any
in there.
original members still in the band?
James is still the original member. He's the founder. He's still in the band. And you still got Ezra Williams, who's been with the band for over 20-something years. Angelo Earl, who plays, because Ezra is actually the music director. And then you've got Angelo Earl, who's been with the band. He plays lead guitar. He's been with them for 1,000 years. You got Robert Day. He's been with the band for millions of years too. They're the statesmen.
Yes.
Of the Barcades, yes.
Yes, we love to see and hear the Barcades whenever they perform. And one thing I heard you mention is not only do you play for them, but you said you became the music director.
Assistant.
And how did that evolve? Like, what does that consist of?
I mean, I just help like with concepts like transitions in songs and just just helping Easy Rock and whatever he needs me to do like music wise and things, So I'm just playing my part.
Do you like directing?
It's okay. Tell people what to do.
Yeah. But I mean, I would think like you would have a frame of mind to know what sounds good when you switch things up with arrangements.
Oh
and
yeah,
things like that.
I love doing that. I love doing it, keeping the essence of the song, but just sprinkling a little bit, extra sauce on it.
I know you enjoy that.
That's my lane.
Now, you teach music. Tell me about that experience because we often see on your social media, you're going to teach them kids some lessons. You're going to put them on display for us. Tell me about your experience teaching the kids.
The children.
Now, what grades you teach?
I teach kindergarten through 5th grade.
Now, that is a exceptional age
When I tell
range.
My friend Quentin Cox, who's over this organization called Arts and Us, he put up a post on Instagram about 5 years ago. He was like, any musicians who want some part-time work, come holler at me. I got some positions at school. I was like, okay, I need some extra money, during the day. So I went and met with him. And he was like, yeah, man. He said, no. And this is like before we had knew of each other, but we never officially met before. He was like, no, I know you are, man. You're Darryl Sanford, man. He said, no, I want you to be like a full-time teacher at the school. I was like, okay. I said, I've never taught in a school setting now. You don't have to like kind of sit with me, get my feet wet. He's like, oh, I'm going to be there with you.
He let you get baptized by the fire.
This man pulled me up. I get to Hanley Elementary School in Orange Mound.
Not the Mound.
In the Mound,
Mound kids got you right.
I went up in there. He wasn't there. I was like, okay, well, let me go on ahead and see what it's about. I get in there on my first day. And when I tell you, my 3rd grade class, and I joke with the girls to this day. 2 of my 3rd grade girls, they just bust out to fighting.
No.
On my first day.
Oh,
they got a little boy in there. His name is Dakarian, and he's still one of my little babies. This man here has one arm, a nub, and no legs. They done knocked him over.
No.
So he's sitting there crawling, crying. I'm sitting like,
and it's your first day?
On my first day.
You was like, what
kind of zoo did I join? What is this?
Wait. Okay. And so, that was your introduction.
That was my introduction to teaching.
Interesting.
On my first day.
And you stayed.
And when I tell you, them children, I fell in love with those kids. They're something special, And I kind of look at it as my way of giving back to the community too, for them to be able to see a black man who is actually in his field. A lot of them, they follow me on Instagram. So whenever I come back, they're like, oh, we saw you on tour and you was here and you was there. So they automatically think I'm rich. Oh, can you buy me some chips? I'm sitting like, no.
Oh wow, these kids are something else.
But it's been amazing. It was 4 years that I've been, because my first year got cut short because of the pandemic. But then I went back on that following year, and it's just been, that was when I really gained my footing on that second year of being there. Because we started off virtual, and then halfway through the year, we went back to the school. And it was on from then. I had club music class, the hottest club in elementary school. That's what I call my music class.
Club music.
Club music class.
Well, why
the
do you
hottest
call
club
it that?
Cause I would teach the children about like the beat of the song. I would teach them about tempo. I would teach them about dynamics in songs, all of that. And this was when we were virtual. And so I would play like New Edition. I'd play Boys to Men. I'd play all that type of stuff. I'd even play like some stuff that they like the NLE Chopper and all of that. And I would be teaching like a second grader, and I'd be playing New Edition, and all of a sudden I see in the camera like all the parents just bust out, "Oh, that's my jam!" So I've got the whole parents dancing in the. I'm like, "Sir." So I started telling them, like, "Oh, okay, if you come in the camera, that you owe me $5. This is club music class. Yeah, you owe me $5 for being in class."
The parents got engaged too.
Parents got engaged. So once we got back into the schools and the parents would actually meet me, they'd be like, "Oh man, we love your music class." And so that's how it went. It
sounds like you figured it out with the kids.
I did. I figured it out.
Now, what do you think is the biggest lesson that you've learned from working with the kids?
Ooh, patience. Patience, because you never know what the child is going through, especially, being in Orange Mound. You never know what those children are going through at home. And a lot of times they bring a lot of their aggression and their, whatever they have going on at home, sometimes they bring it to school. So that's why I tried to do my part to brighten their day. Just that little bit of time that they were with me, I wanted to be able to take their minds off of everything that they had going on. So that's why I had children who they didn't want to leave my room. They would be hiding under tables. I'd be like, "We want to stay with Mr. Sanford all day," So it'll be pandemonium when I'm walking down the hall. They'd be like, "Oh, Mr. Sanford, Mr. Sanford," So that's how it went.
And you also teach with Stacks as well, right?
Yes, I do this is my second year being the keyboard instructor for their summer program. Because they do a concert series at the Levitt Shell every year. So, I'm with the keyboards, and I mean, just to see the amazing I have a 16, well, he's 17 now. I scooped him up. He's a bass player. He plays with me in my church now.
Wow.
Amazing bass player. Isaiah Blair. Yeah, I gave you a shout out. That's $5.
Isaiah Blair.
$5. But he's an amazing bass player. They have some amazing talent at Stacks.
Yes, I hear that all the time. And what's funny is I saw that, you're teaching them to be on time, having them do the push-ups, but then when you showed up late,
I'm
you
accountable.
made an example of yourself.
Hey, if I'm late, I do push-ups too. I do push-ups too. No, I can't. To be a good leader, you have to follow too.
That's true.
So, no, I'm like, if I'm late, let me do the push-ups.
And you know what? It seems like you really have a fun teaching style, but disciplined as well.
I do. They know I throw them out the window. Look, I'm about to say I throw them out the window, but I can't say that on camera. I don't really throw them out the window.
Yes, you do.
Yeah.
Yes, you do. Now, let's jump into Esco's Pop Talk.
Come on, let's talk about it.
Now, this is a segment where we're going to hit on some of the current events, and I kind of want to start off with the BET Awards. Have you seen the BET Awards?
I saw bits and pieces of it.
You saw bits and pieces of it. Well, what I want to talk about is Patti LaBelle's tribute to Tina Turner, who has passed away. Patti got up there and sang, or attempted to sing, "Simply the Best." Patti did not know the words.
No, she didn't know the words.
Patti was like, "Y'all, I can't see the teleprompter."
Bless her heart.
Did you see that part of it?
I did.
And what are your thoughts?
I did.
Let's talk about that for a second.
All I can say is bless her heart. I don't want to say it's age or anything like that, but
it might be. I mean, real deal, it might be, huh?
It's so many factors that go on these shows and stuff, and I guess from being on the show, there's so many times where it's so many things that can go on. You can probably have brain fog or something, and you forget the lyrics. It's terrible that it happened on a big stage like that. So that's why a lot of times they do have, the words going for the different singers, because that's a lot of music to try to. You're already dealing with a lot of your own songs, and sometimes it's hard for you to remember your own songs. So for you to sing someone else's song, that you may have probably never sang before, you know what I'm saying? So you're trying to sit up there and read.
I was like, why she picked that song though? Yeah, well, let's hear what's love got to do with it. Or, something more.
She would have
popular.
I think that was more her style to do something like that.
It looked like they did some last minute stuff.
They did. They did. But that's.
So you have played at a production such as the BET Awards on that level?
No, I'm speaking that into existence. Hallelujah.
Amen. Amen. It's gonna happen.
Well, I've done the Memphis Music Hall of Fame. I've done that a few times. Yeah. Shout out to Kirk Clayton. He's the one that gets me on a lot of stuff I do with him. So for to be on that stage, and that's not even like the big, I can see how it goes. So to be on a big stage like the BET Awards and stuff, I could see how you could get up there and, you trying to, and depending on how far away the screen is and all of that. Yeah, it could be a monster. So
it could be.
I'm not gonna.
You're gonna give Patty some grace.
I'm gonna give her some grace. This Patty LaBelle. That's the legend.
We gonna give her a little grace.
She could have did better, but
do better, Patty. Do better. That's all I'm gonna say. But one of the big things that's noticeable about the BET Awards is all of the representation from Memphis.
Yes.
And you got your Glorrillas, you got your Moneybags, Finesse 2 Times, heavy on the rap scene.
Yeah, heavy on the rap scene.
What you think about that?
Memphis is known for rap. So to see them on the big stage like that, it was great to see. It was great to see. Probably one of the only things that I was questioning. That's why I really didn't watch that much of it, because it was supposed to be a 50th anniversary for hip hop.
Yeah.
So to me, it was like they would give the legends like 30 seconds. Yeah. And then turn around, and it's like a lot of the new folks, they give them like 2 or 3 minutes. I don't know if it's because they were trying to cater more to the younger audience or whatever, but I'm like, if you're giving an anniversary, it should be like reverse. You know what I'm saying? Let the legends have their moment.
Yeah. And a lot of people were missing from that tribute, and a lot of people were complaining.
Yeah.
You got to satisfy East Coast, West Coast, down South.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know how they go.
Yeah.
Do you ever play for rap type performances?
I've done some stuff with Tyke T before. Shout out to him. Tyke T is doing his thing.
He's going to be at the Orpheum soon.
Yes, he is. Grab them tickets. Them tickets. Tyke T
I can see you on keys over there.
Tyke T is he's doing
super
his thing.
Talented.
He's doing his thing. I've done a few rap things. My motto is, if you paying, I'm playing. It don't matter what it is. It can be bluegrass. If you paying, I'm playing.
If you paying, I'm playing.
There you go.
And my price is my price.
Hello.
Is that something you had to learn over the years?
I did, because
getting burnt a few times.
I was being nice. Oh, you ain't got to. No, no, pay me.
Yeah.
Pay me. I have a wife.
Yeah.
It
is what it is.
It is what it is.
Wow. You heard the man. Pay him.
Hello.
Okay. Now, we still in Esco's Pop Talk. Some big news that just broke on yesterday is that Derrick Rose, free agent, former Memphis Tiger basketball player Derrick Rose, has signed a 2-year deal with the Memphis Grizzlies. You ready for D Rose to come back?
I am. I think it's just his overall story. Just, with all the injuries and everything, and for him to still be able to
get a lot of injuries, right?
Mainly because of his style of play. That's one thing I'm kind of worried about with Ja Morant, because they kind of have similar styles. So he's so explosive, and you have to stop at the drop of a hat. You know what I'm saying? That tear your knees up, and that's what happened to Derrick Rose. So, but I think it would be good, because they're trying to get more veteran leadership around the Grizzlies, which is what they need. Our bench, our team is so young.
Young.
The oldest one is the guy that looked like Aquaman.
Yes. What's his name? The Aquaman looking dude.
Yeah.
I can't think of it, but
he's
still injured.
He's still injured, but he's like one of the oldest guys on there, but he's not really like vocal like that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's why I'm glad they brought in Marcus Smart, which is going to be good.
What is his style, Marcus Smart? I'm not very familiar with him.
He's defensive. He was Defensive Player of the Year like a couple of years ago.
Okay.
Steve
Adams, a.k.a. Aquaman.
Yep, Aquaman.
But you know what? Derrick Rose has had a very, colorful past with Memphis. So I'm seeing kind of two sides of the coin with welcoming him back. I mean, he's coming back regardless if you want him here or not.
Right, he is.
But how he departed from Memphis, the scandal behind everything.
Yeah.
And now he's coming back. So a lot of time has passed. So we'll see.
It has. I mean, like I said, I won't put a lot of it on him. I mean, it's on the coach and the people that were around him, But I forgive him. Come on home.
Come on
back
home.
to Memphis. Come on back to Memphis.
Well, it's happening because Ja is suspended for how long?
25 games.
So what does that equate to? We won't see him until about
probably like maybe because the season starts in like October, so we probably won't see him until maybe like around December, maybe.
Oh, well, that ain't that bad.
No, ain't that bad. No, 25. I mean, you got like
think about it, they play a lot of games.
Yeah, they got like 3 or 4 games a week. So
okay.
We'll see him real soon.
You think Ja learned his lesson yet?
He better. You better.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Well, repeat after me, Darryl Sanford. Amen.
Amen.
Say man.
Say man.
Okay, give it to me, East Memphis. Say it one more time. Amen. Say man.
Amen. Say man.
Amen. So this is a moment of transparency between you and I.
Mm-hmm.
Are you familiar with the NPR Tiny Desk series?
Yes.
So I've really been enjoying them, and I think they really had it popping for Black Music Month, right?
They did.
I enjoyed Uncle Charlie's, Tanks. Oh, wow, Tanks was really good. Who did Tanks sit in for? Was it Uncle Charlie?
No, Tank was on there with Babyface.
But
then he turned around and did his own.
Yes. Also, they just dropped Juveniles, and it was so lit. 99, 2000. That's my little era right there. But in a perfect world, what would be a tiny desk that you, as a music director, would put together?
Ooh,
yes. Come on, music director. What would you want to see?
What would I want to see on Tiny Desk? I mean, of course, off top, I'd say Barcades, of course. I mean,
yes.
Duh.
Come on, Barcades.
I'd love to see that. I mean, I
think that could happen.
I think so too. I mean, we got, a lot of people know who we are.
Yes,
so,
legendary.
That would be dope. That would be dope. I mean, in a perfect world, who I would want to see on there. I mean, I'd love to maybe see Anita Baker on there. I don't know if she's ever done one before.
Ooh, come on, controversial Anita Baker. Kicking my boy off the tour, but I still want to see you on Tiny Desk.
Yeah.
Now that would be nice. I didn't even think about Anita
Baker to have a Tiny Desk. Because I mean, her music is timeless.
It is.
Her music is timeless.
It is still to this day.
That would be really good.
She gonna give you some diva, baby. She
is. That's what she gonna do.
And that's just her.
Now that's never mind. I'm about to say that's that you need closed caption because some of the words you be saying I don't know what she be saying, but it's still some nice music.
When I was a little girl, my mom used to play the mess out of Anita Baker, and when I was young, I didn't like it because I felt like she was singing through her nose or something. I'm like, Mom, could you change it? But as I became an adult,
yes.
I fell in love.
Oh yes.
Isn't that crazy?
Oh yes.
That's
I
how it
love
goes.
her music. That's how it goes.
Wow.
I play a lot of that stuff for my kids. They be like, oh, what is this? No, they don't like it.
Yeah.
Because they don't know what she's saying. That's what it is. But
then
I put on some rap or something. They be like, they know them word for word. I'm like,
oh yeah.
Now how y'all know what they saying, but you can't tell what she's saying?
That's how it go. Oh my. Okay, amen. Say man. What has been some of your favorite Tiny Desk performances?
Right now, Babyface was really good. Kirk Franklin's was really good.
Yes.
Ty Tribbett was really good. Trying to think of some other ones. I want to see. I haven't seen Adam Blackstone's yet.
I saw bits and pieces.
I would love to see that because I'm a big fan of his.
Yes. Grammy Award winning.
Oh yeah. But I think those are my favorites so far.
Those are your favorites so far. All right. Well, I like how you answered Amen, say man. That was a pretty good segment right there. Now, I know you have been all over this world and with your music, and I know we kind of talked a bit about this before we started recording. You have been on the Tom Joyner cruises. How has that experience been? Because I didn't know they were still having them.
Well, the experience last year, that was my first time doing it. And to be able to get on there And I've always heard about the Tom Joyner cruise, never been on one. So I was finally able to go to the Barcades last year, and I mean to have Usher, Alicia Keys, LL Cool J, all of them on there. I'm sitting here like, this is unbelievable, And so this year, I was able to be on there with the Barcades and with Alexander O'Neal, with both of them, and I was also able to bring my wife this time, because my wife has actually never seen me perform with the Barcades.
Really?
Yeah,
So she enjoyed that.
Oh, she was so proud. She was so proud. So to be able to do the Barcades and then to play for Alexander O'Neal on there, and I'm talking about, I almost had a full moment. I was just like, man, God is so good. I'm sitting here playing with this legend, and then I look to my right, and you got Keith Washington standing over there. You look in front of me, and I got Shantae Moore, and I got Tisha Campbell from Martin's in there. I got Sugar Bear and EU doing the butt sitting over there, and then my brothers from Barcades was standing right there supporting and everything. It was just a beautiful, and a room full of folks with cameras up. It was a beautiful moment, man. I was like, man, God is just good.
Yes. How long was the cruise?
7 days.
7 days. So you on that boat with all of those people?
All those people for 7 days.
You might wake up in the morning, go get breakfast. Hey, Shantae.
Ralph Tresvant, Tony Terry, all them folks. I got to meet all of those people. Fred Hammond was on there because he did like a hood. He has a play called Hood Book, where he's like kind of retelling the story of the Bible. Amazing.
Wow.
So they were on there, and Charlie Wilson was on there, Yin Yang Twins.
That boat was lit.
It was lit.
Where did y'all sail to?
We went to Jamaica. We went to Mexico, and it was one other spot we went.
So you going this year?
Well, you know what? I don't think we're going next year because we've already got booked for 2 other cruises around the same time.
Okay. And are you playing on those cruises? Okay. Because I talk to musicians all the time, and they are doing the cruises. The cruises are back and popping.
Oh, they are.
From COVID, little spell.
Yeah, they are.
Are they the same?
It depends on the ship that you're on, because I liked the ship last year better than I like the one this year.
Is it because of what, though? What do you like better about it?
The food was better last year.
The food. Gotcha.
But the amenities were better on this one, that we were on this year.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it was still cool. I told my wife, I said, ain't no sleeping. You take naps because you're going to miss something.
Yes, because there's something going on 24/7.
All the time.
Yeah, I've been on a couple of cruises, but it's time to get back on one. It's been a minute.
You'll enjoy it. It was good.
Okay, I want to get on the Tom Joyner cruise.
It's
sound like that's what we need to be.
It's in there.
Okay, so Darryl Sanford, what do you think about the Memphis music scene?
The Memphis music scene, there's no other scene like the Memphis music scene. And I'm not just saying that just because I'm a part of it. It's just the fact that whenever you go somewhere and you say you're from Memphis, it's just automatic respect. They're like, oh man, you from Memphis. Oh, I know you cold. That's just how Memphis is. It has that, that respect.
Yeah.
And I mean, you can go anywhere and hear some amazing music at any night of the week. From just shout out to all the musicians, all the singers. I mean, there's so many to name. That's why I'm not gonna name any.
Because they're like, you ain't say my name.
Right, you ain't say my name. But I mean, it's just it's so many of my peers who I love and respect, and it's just amazing to see how I put up a post right when the pandemic started. I said, let's take this time to regroup, to rest, first of all, because it's the first time a lot of us have really been able to be home in a long time. I mean, I really enjoyed, just being with my wife for 2 years, just be able to just kick it. We got to, just rejuvenate our relationship, really get back on track, you know what I'm saying? And I told him, I said, take this time, because once everything opens back up,
it's gonna go fast.
The calls are gonna come, and I'm talking about, you can look at any major artist out there, and there's a Memphis, musician or singer with them right now. So it's just, God is just good.
Yes, amen. Now, other than your gift of music, performing, I know you're going to continue to teach. So that's still going on. Because I'm about to say, what's next for Darryl Sanford, honey, other than the Sanford and Son podcast with your father, Otis Sanford.
They keep putting in the atmosphere. Yes, I'm still gonna teach. Trying to figure out which school I'm gonna go to next year, but I'm still gonna teach, and I'm still gonna tour. Just whatever God has for me. That's why I'm taking it.
Yes, yes, sir. Well, you keep on putting that good content out there on social media as well, because we have really been enjoying it, Darryl.
Yes, ma'am. I get that everywhere we go. Man, we love your music, but them kids though.
Them kids though. Music Teacher Chronicles.
We love Lil Jordan, the little boy you be doing a little dance with in the morning. That's it's just been amazing.
Yeah, you got to keep that going, Darryl.
I will.
Okay. Well, I really appreciate you for being my guest today on the Verbally Effective podcast.
It's an honor.
Yes, you are indeed verbally effective.
Come on, this is my point of view. My name is Dad. This is my point
Get
of view.
into it. Get into it.
Darryl Sanford, and this is my point of view.
Just like your daddy.
Just like him. I don't have that deep voice.
But you got one though.
Yeah, this is Darryl Sanford, and this is my point of view.
Can you sing?
Huh?
Can you sing?
A little bit, but
I can hear that too.
I ain't got to.
You ain't got to.
No, I pay folk to do that.
Okay,
let me sit behind my little piano and be in the background.
I got you. You got any final words or any shout outs you do want to do before we depart?
Shout out to my beautiful, lovely wife, LaTarsha Sanford. Shout out to her. She's just graduated, got her BSN in nursing.
Congratulations.
So she is right now studying for those nursing boards. Get it, baby. Do your thing, girl. Shout out to the family. Shout out to my mom. Shout out to my mom, and I don't call him my stepdad. He's been in my life since I was 13. I call him Big Daddy because he's so cool. Shout out to them. Shout out to my dad and my mama Sanford. Just shout out to everybody.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, you have indeed made Memphis proud. And
thank you.
I want to thank you once again for coming on the Verbally Effective podcast. How can everyone continue to follow your journey? How can they follow you?
You can follow me on the Book of Facebook, Darryl Sanford. You can follow me on Instagram and Twitter and TikTok, D. Lamont Sanford. That's actually my name too, Darryl Lamont Sanford.
Darryl Lamont Sanford.
And my grandfather's name was Fred Sanford too.
Oh, wow. Yep. Interesting fact.
Yep, come on.
Sanford and Son podcast dropping soon. I will be producing it, ladies and gentlemen. You heard it right here on the Verbally Effective podcast. Thank you guys so much for tuning in yet again to another episode. Don't forget, Pod Box 6 is next Saturday. And that will be July. What is next Saturday's date? July. I'm slow.
10th.
July 8th at Cossett Library, 33 South Front Street. All of the Pod Box crew's going to be there. All of the Mid-South podcasters going to be downtown Memphis from 3 to 6. Can't wait. And thanks again for tuning in. Follow that Ina Esco YouTube channel and hit the subscribe button. Ladies and gentlemen, I'll see you next week.
This is the Spotlight Podcast Network.